Uh-oh. That volcano looks like it's gonna erupt. Of course, I knew that. What did I tell you? The volcano erupted.
Hey, howdy, hey, and happy Valentine's Day. And all these toys are gone for Valentine's? The tree of hearts. Well, hi, everyone. Don't you worry, gang. I'm gonna catch that butterfly. And right now I need a break. 然后有一次我就因为这帮是 hobby, then too busy. I'm really want to try your cup. Fun. It's again on the ones over there.
After Slinky's debut at Gimbel's, the store returned the favor in the spring of 1946, advertising Slinky as a riot at parties. No wonder it swept New York like wildfire. And Slinky kept stretching beyond Philadelphia, showing up in department stores like Jordan Marsh in Boston, Blocks in Indianapolis, and Mays in Los Angeles. Richard and Betty also sold thousands of Slinkies direct to consumers through ads like these. How could James Industries go from having 400 Slinkies made for them to mass producing their own in less than a year? Richard James was a born engineer.
Sneak out, huh? Heard me, dweebs. Sneak out. Right. Yeah?
He made the first machine at the end of 1945. The wire comes in round, and it has some oil residue on it, and it goes in this bath. And there is a solution in the water to help take that off and cool it. Then it goes up and is flattened after that process, and then rolled on the reel, and then automatically cut off, and then the girls would crimp it on the ends for safety.
Nick has a point. There is only one opening night. Well, according to the Newville Journal of Medicine, monkeys are easily influenced by culinary.
Then it was put on the assembly line and would go down the line to the end. Slinky now has graduated to walking right off the assembly line into a box, and then would be put in a master carton and taken to shipping. You know, when we started out in Portico Street in the little old building, we outgrew it. And we had to build a factory, so we got some land in Clifton Heights, which is a suburb of Philly. And we built our first factory there. And pretty soon we outgrew that. So then we decided, well, we had to build a larger one. And we built one out in Paoli, which is another suburb of Philly. We got round wire, and it was brought in huge barrels. And one day there was a steel strike, and we had orders, and I didn't know what we were going to do because we really needed it. So I thought, no, I'll call the president of Pittsburgh Steel. And I told him that our condition and what had happened, and I said, I know you wouldn't be where you are if you didn't have empathy for other people. And I said, could you help me? And the next couple days we got steel.
As Slinky's popularity grew, Richard had to build 5 more machines to keep up with demand. Just 10 years from its humble introduction, over 100 million Slinkies were sold. Yet not everything the company touched turned to gold. Richard and Betty had more than their share of flops, and dealing with outside inventors started out for James Industries as a very cautionary tale.
Oh, Marvin Glass, the inventor, came to our house in Philly, and he had a beanie, and he had a Slinky over the top, and we paid him quite a sum for it. I think it was at that time $5,000, which sounded enormous to us. That was something that didn't go over. And then we had a man come in one day, and he had these glasses, a Mr. Clark, and it was the silliest thing. I loved them.
Then in 1952, a tiny dog came to James Industries. He was just a little yellow fellow, but he sure had a lot of pull.
Helen Malsed from Seattle, Washington, had sent in a prototype of a dog, and it was cute. We asked her if she'd get a patent and we would pay her a royalty. And she said yes, so she gave us the full rights to it.
The Slinky dog was an immediate hit and led to many other successful pull toys based on Helen's patent, including the Slinky train, Slinky kitten, And a kid favorite, the Slinky Caterpillar. Helen's royalties started slow and would only grow over the years. In this article from 1983, she said of her Slinky pull toy patent, "I never did sit down to figure out how much I earned from it. I'd get checks for $50,000 and just spend the money."
Nice choice, as usual. The latest burping soda formula. A guaranteed 1 burp per sip. Excuse you.
I think the milestone that really stands out is my husband leaving. He became involved in a religious cult. And he decided that he was going to go to South America, and he went to Bolivia. Being the inventor, he was given all kinds of praise and everything, and he loved it. I think when he wasn't getting all the attention up here, he needed it, and he went down there where he could be a big man. He said to me, "What are you going to do? Sell the company or run it?" And without thinking, I said, "Why, of course I'll run it." I really think when he asked me that, he thought I would say sell it. And I thought, I'm going to do it. And he left, and I moved the children up to this house in 1960. And then I traveled back and forth for a year between Philly and here. I'd come up on Thursdays and do all the things the children needed and go back Sunday. It was the worst year.
She would drive alone 240 miles to Philadelphia. She commuted. Sunday night she left in tears.
Leaving on Sunday night was bad because on the balcony of the stairway, they'd all be standing and Tom would be holding the baby and she'd be crying, and I usually cried from here to Harrisburg and then I was okay. I knew that I had people up here, my family, and I had 2 uncles that were doctors and my aunts that would look after my children while I had to be away. So that's why I moved up here. So I had 6 good reasons why I had to keep going. He was too busy with his own life to notice these children.
Richard James left his wife and kids, but to make matters worse, he left the company he founded in severe debt.
Kid, I know this to be true. Trust me on this one, Kato. When you give a deal over the cost somewhere else, you might only save this much fun, but you know what is Slinky. You manage to doors countless thousands of miles with just a line block in order to save this much on a new Tyson's Toyota. You might call this phenomenon pizza logic. I do.
Oh, we were in great debt because he had given so much money to this group and even some of our equipment. And we were almost bankrupt.
She had paid for the house up here. She took all that, mortgaged it, bought wire, gambled that television would take off with Slinky the first year that she did it, and darn if it didn't.
It was at the time when everybody was having jingles.
Mr. King gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute. Real cream, little happening, hey, hey, hey. Green Giant.
By this time we had an agency, and Tom Cureton was our man and was with us for over 30 years. And I said, "Tom, could you get a jingle for us?" He contacted these 2 men, and they wrote the jingle. And I got it from them and kept it forever.
Who walks this here without a care and shoots so high in the sky? Comes up and down just like a cloud. Everyone knows it's Slinky, the best benefit to give or get, the favorite all over town. The hit of the day when you're ready to play. Everyone knows it's Slinky, it's Slinky, it's Slinky. More fun is the best of the toy. It's Slinky, the favorite of girls and boys. For fun is a wonderful toy. It's Slinky, it's fun for a girl and a boy. It's fun for a girl and a boy.
While at the Slinky plant, we couldn't help sending one down an old staircase. Plastic Slinkies were introduced sometime in the 1970s, in part because stairs changed. The staircases in homes in the 1940s were much steeper, with narrower treads than modern staircases.
Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please, oh, please.
I would love for that to stop.
Please, oh, please. Oh, what have we here? As the King's Royal Assistant, I am the official checker of the new things to be checked. It's all right, I'll handle this. Hello! What galaxy are you from?
Oobla!
Where is your leader?
Oobla! Stop it. It's toast.
Hello, Toast! I greatly admire your ship.